Hello. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the issue that came up. It was in a documentary last night on television, and it's been in various newspaper articles, and it's been around for a while since they run out of people that would sympathise with the whole anti-smoking agenda. They've now moved on to booze. Now, obviously, there's this government have put together this committee for what it's worth, load of shit, and but I'd just like to point out that most of this committee is made up of people from the industry. There's no clash of interest there. But what it is they're saying that Britain's got a problem, a severe problem with drunken behaviour, alcoholism, and it's a burden on public services. Now, to a certain extent, I agree with this. It is a burden on public services. Um, some of you may not have experience of going to hospitals on a Friday or a Saturday night. Um, but I have through work, and let me tell you something. It's unbelievable. The amount of fucking people that are in there who are pissed is unfucking believable. And it is a fucking burden. And these people are just reckless with their drinking. They don't control themselves. And if you were to cut that out, I'll tell you the waiting in A&E would be fucking cut dramatically. And also the money spent, the money must be astronomical. I know from when I worked in the police that dealing with drunken behaviour costs a fucking bomb. Whether it's at a weekend, it's a Friday night, whether it's during holidays, whether it's New Year's Eve, whatever. It's a fucking bomb how much money that's spent on police resources through drunken behaviour. And also damage that's caused. And it's this big snowball thing. You have a drink, you do this, the police get involved, you might smash something. It just snowballs. And when you put that on a nationwide scale, yeah, there's a fucking issue. But the government are going about tackling it wrong as usual. As usual, they don't fucking ever tackle. I always say this about the government: they never tackle the root. They always snip the branches. And the government's main proposal is to increase the price of alcohol, to do away with all these offers, to have a standard set minimum price per unit of alcohol. And all this does, it's like everything that the government of any government put in place. All it is another tax. It's just a discrete way of taxing people who buy alcohol. And let's face it, not every single person who has a drink gets completely wasted and stupid and pathetic. Most people are sensible with their drink. I like a drink. I like go to the pub, have a few drinks, and go home. But there are people that go out and get completely wasted. Now there are certain. This is something that affects everyone. Not everyone, but every type of person, every person throughout the class. You could be extremely rich. You could be extremely poor. You'd like a drink all the same. But there's severity levels, but ultimately we all have a drink to make us feel better. It's a form of escapism, and there are severity levels within that escapism. Some of us have a few drinks. It's nice, relax. Others need it. It's essential to them, and that's when it becomes an addiction. And like any addiction, you could cut out the drug, but that's not going to deal with the addiction. And what the government are doing is not just trying to increase the price of alcohol, but for everything to do with the subject of alcohol, they're not dealing with what actually causes people to go out and get completely wasted. Now, I know a lot of people that do it that work, and they work long fucking hours, long fucking hours, or sometimes fucking 7 days a week, you know. And when they get time off, they want to have a fucking good drink, and it's basically to escape the fact that they're fucking working their bollocks into the ground, working themselves ultimately into an early grave, to simply keep a roof over their family's head and to put food on the table. And that's what it's got to in this country for the working men and women of this country. And that's what people need to understand. When you're a worker, you're getting fucked from every front. You're fighting a war that's just, you're getting annihilated, completely fucking annihilated. And I can definitely understand the workers who go out and get completely fucking pissed out of their heads. I'm not saying it's right, but I can fucking understand that. When they're working their bollocks off and they got so much stress at work, stress at home, they need to vent that. Then there's other people who don't work, who don't have to get up on that Monday morning to go to their place of work. These are the unemployed people, and they seem to, in my experience, make up a larger percentage, really, or that I've experienced in these people that do get wasted, and these people that do end up in the hospitals, in the A&E, and these people that do end up in police custody. It's predominantly people who are unemployed. Now, if you've got money to piss up the fucking wall, which I like to just say is fucking taxpayers' money, that ain't your money. You ain't earned that. You know, that's taxpayers' money. Now, if you've got that fucking money to piss up the wall, how much fucking money are you getting over what you actually need? Yeah? And I think this should be addressed. Because it seems to me that there's not one unemployed person I know or know of, through friends or whatever, that hasn't got like 50, 60, 70 quid in their pocket at any given time. You know? And these can't be all fucking drug dealers. Admittedly, a lot of them are the single mums with 3 or 4 different kids for 3 or 4 different dads, but some of them aren't. Some are the single mums with a couple of kids with their previous relationship, and they've got a fucking house paid for by the fucking council and this, that, and the other, and they're going out pissing it up. I'll be honest with you, I'd love to go out every weekend and have a few drinks. I can't afford to go out every fucking weekend, and there's a lot of workers like me. So how the fuck can these unemployed people go out pissing it up? And not just pissing it up, but pissing up with taxpayers' money and then using taxpayers' money and resources like police and fucking hospitals and getting themselves sorted when they're completely fucking wasted. Maybe the government should look at that. Maybe the government should look at why not every worker, but a lot of workers are working their bollocks into the ground and feel they need to drink and drink and drink. Why so many people are turning to alcohol to try and escape this fucking shit. Maybe the government needs to look at that. Because when you're looking at the price of alcohol, if people want to drink, if I want to drink, if the bloke out there wants to drink, if a tramp down the street wants to drink, they'll get a drink and they'll find ways of getting a drink. And all you're fucking going to do by increasing alcohol gradually all the time, like you want to increase every fucking thing in this country, all you're going to do is open up the black market. Now let me tell you something, this is a warning to everyone out there. These Eastern Europeans, as was demonstrated a few weeks ago when those 3 or 4 got blown to fucking smithereens in their own distillery, they're distilling vodka, various spirits, and it's fucking dangerous. It's really dangerous, fatally dangerous. And I'll tell you this now: if you go down markets, if you go down wherever, you come across someone selling these booze, selling vodka, selling this, stay the fuck away from it. He may be selling it for 3, 4 quid, but it's fucking dangerous stuff. It's not your normal stuff. They're fucking distilling it with fuck knows what chemicals, and it could turn you blind and it can actually kill you. So that's a warning. Just stay away from those fucking black market spirit sellers, right? I mean, predominantly spirits. They're not into like your beers and your wines as such. It's spirits they're doing. But that's what it's going to do. It's just going to open up a black market. You need to deal with the root of the problem. I'm not saying what I'm giving examples of why. These are questions that the government needs to ask, and these are questions that the government needs to fucking look into. Because it is a drain on public services. And with public services already getting stripped to shit, they can't afford to be extra drains. And I think it needs to be addressed why it is that unemployed people seem to have money to piss up the wall, if not every day, definitely every week. And why it is that more and more workers are turning to alcohol as a dependency, not just as a relief. And it probably stems back to the same thing, that this country is becoming almost fucking unlivable. Because even when you look at long-term unemployed people, I know a couple myself, they've lost that motivation to better themselves. They've completely almost lost that capacity to just think for themselves, that ability to communicate. And this is because they've just been stuck at home. The vast majority are stuck at home. They don't do anything. They don't try and better themselves in any shape or form. Now, this is to people out there that are unemployed and that are long term in particular unemployed. Better yourself. Educate yourself. You guys are open to everything's free for you, for fuck's sake. You get grants from open university courses. You can go to colleges and get and pay fuck all for everything. Educate yourself. Try and better your fucking self. I know it's bollocks because there's no jobs, but at least try and fucking educate your mind. Because you're just fucking wasting away. You're a waste of a life. It's bullshit. You know. But I think it needs to back to alcohol and the problem with drinking. I think it needs to be the government are looking at it completely the wrong way. You need to look at how people who are unemployed got tons of money to do it, and these are predominantly the people who end up in hospitals and custody. And why is more and more workers are turning to it, and it all points to the same thing. Because certainly from a worker's point of view, that's all I can talk from. It's fucking with bills and bills going up, and with the income not going up at all. It's becoming a fucking real hard. And workers out there, not just in this country, across the fucking planet, under great stress and great pressure. And I think if they are turning to alcohol a lot more, which I do think they are, I think the government should be thankful, and everyone should be thankful that it is just alcohol. Because I tell you what, it won't be. I can't see it being long that it will develop into more, a greater severity of uh, relief, and in what form that comes in could be devastating. But yeah, government once again are fucking about with an issue completely the wrong way, arse backwards. Deal with the root, not the fucking branch.